Back in your life. Back in your life. Back. Three. I'll let you cut that. 3, 2, 1. I said, well, I said it, and then it looked like it wasn't live yet. The thing didn't start counting, so I was like, what the fuck? All right, 20 seconds.
So why didn't you just hit record instead of live stream?
Oh, really? Oh, shit. Wow, I guess I didn't realize that. I didn't switch it.
This? I mean, there's no channels. It's not going anywhere, but like...
No, I didn't even realize
because if we hit record, we can pause it if we need to.
Can you still do what you need to do here? Can I, or did I fuck this up?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, fuck. I didn't realize that. I forgot you can switch it. I'm retarded.
All right.
Okay. So what you're still doing, or what you're, I'm not.
It's just there's like, like right here we would normally pause it and then start over, but now I'd have to like sit through the first like minute and find where we actually start at.
Yeah, no, I'll make it. We'll be good. I'll make it a minute 10. I'm fucking retarded. My bad. I fucking suck. I just like making your life difficult.
Yeah, no.
That's what I'm here for. All right, 3. Back in your life, like an old white man who runs a football team, who's as old as a sleepy ex-president, making trades that nobody likes in the state of Texas. This is the Weekend Warmup podcast, a Gotham Golden Ignorance collaboration. We got new logos and everything, baby. We're so out here. We're back. We are here. We are live. We are in multiple colors. I am Joe the Show Winkle, host of the Educated Ignorance podcast, joined by my good friend, Gotham Gambling creator and co-conspirator, the man himself. It is, of course, fuck Danny. How are you doing, Danny? What if we just gimmick that into your name?
Yeah, just like, you know what? Fuck Danny. Can you check what the spread is on this Georgia State game?
Exactly. Like
you got to do that next week without letting them know, like letting them in on it. We're just gonna act like nothing happened. Like
like there's this wrestling show called Steve and Larson, and everybody calls the guy Larson. They call him and Larson. You know, so it's funny.
Yeah. I'm good, man. I'm now joining, I guess, every neighboring state around the ugly state of Wisconsin and saying fuck Wisconsin after the most heinously ugly minus 17 and a half hook I've ever seen in my life.
Hey, man.
I mean, your QB1 goes down with the they said it was a hamstring injury, but a non-contact hamstring injury that was so bad he took one step and collapsed on the field, which is never good. Their season might be over already, if they can only beat Miami, Ohio 17-0.
The last thing that you probably expected was that Wisconsin would shut Miami of Ohio out and you would not cover. What a time to be alive.
Dude, they didn't even do anything special in the front seven. They were they literally just put all their 300-pound defensive linemen up front. And just because their quarterback, they switched him to wide receiver and D-back last year. And then the new coach came in and they switched him back to quarterback. So, I mean, what were you expecting from this team?
Hey, man. Crazy times out here. All right.
Absolutely.
Enough about Wisconsin versus teams in the Midwestern conferences. What is the weekend warm-up? So, this is pretty safe to say this is our weekend warm-up. We're going to come on here. We're going to talk the big games of the weekend. Danny's going to try to make me a fan of English Premier League soccer. Maybe we'll talk about golf or something. I don't know. But yeah, we'll talk about all the stuff going into the weekend. Just a little bit of a chat. And then, of course, at the end, the gambling gimmick for Joe the Show Winkle, which is me, the Educated Ignorance podcast, the $100 picks, which is taking place at the Sinister Six, which has now moved on to the Golden Ticket Show. $100 picks. We put our futures in last week. This week, all college football. We are. This is the week that I dread the most because I got to come up with a bunch of college plays only. I much rather prefer doing the NFL plays, but hey, we are here. We are near. We are near and dear. So let's get after it, Danny.
This is interesting. 14 reasons why Wisconsin sucks.
Well, see, exactly. Big time.
This is. I'm not even joking. This is a whole article.
Yeah. Wow, you're out here just rocking it. They didn't suck today though because their NFL team. They now have 100. They now have 100% more blue chip players than I said they had 2 weeks ago.
That was such a great transition, and I wasn't even planning on it to be like what a great way for us to start that.
I know. Listen, I should just host more stuff, I guess. Here's the thing. We might as well start here. Micah Parsons is now a Green Bay Packer. And I already know what's going to happen, man. Everyone and their dad is going to think that I'm going to be petty about this. I'm not. I don't like Green Bay, of course, but I'm not going to be mad. I'm not mad about it, you know? It's funny that this is what happened. It sets the Packers up. There's a couple ways that this could go. What were your overall thoughts, Daniel, when this trade went down at about 4 p.m. Central today? When Jerry Jones decided to commit. I mean, listen, he's 1,000 years old, so he can't really do it, but he committed suicide today in front of the world and said, I don't care about my sports team anymore.
You know, I was actually thinking about it this morning, and my first thought was we saw this last year with the Chiefs, right? With Chris Jones, sort of, where it was like he was on holdout the whole year. He's like, fine, I'm just not going to play. And then right at the last minute, they got something done, right? So I knew something was going to get done because at the end of we saw what happened to the Cowboys that year when Zeke held out for the first, just kept holding out through the season. So I think Jerry always knew that he was going to make a deal, some kind of a deal before the first game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great move for Green Bay to capitalize on a bad situation. Because if you're in this position where you have a solid receiver core, I know we debate that on how they are. You have one of the best workhorse running backs in the league. You have a solid defense, and now you have a great offensive line, and now you have one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. It puts you in a much better position, especially when the North right now is like your goal right now in the NFC North is to match the Lions and be better, right? The Vikings have all the uncertainty with a first-year quarterback coming off an injury, first year with Ben Johnson in the Bears, and you have all the questions with how that's going to work. We got to see, but the one consistent thing in that division that nothing's really changed has been Green Bay. And the one issue was, can they perform in the playoffs? And adding Micah Parsons to that kind of helps set you up for the playoffs for the next 4 years, whether it's a wild card or a division spot.
Yeah, this could be the piece that they needed, because my biggest gripe with them is that, yeah, you have a lot of good players, but you don't have any great players, They were basically the 8-seeded Clippers, whose best player was Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell. Well, they just went out and got Kawhi and Paul George all wrapped into one guy. You know what I mean? So I was down on Green Bay, man, and I wasn't just doing it as a bit. Like, I really was. I thought this was a year Green Bay was going to regress, but them getting Micah Parsons, man, and they got him for nothing. Dirt cheap. They got him for a guy in Kenny Clark who was tailing off and 2 first-round picks. What a nightmare for Dallas. That's the thing that I can't I mean, Green Bay is a story for getting him in a sense, but the biggest story is Dallas, dude. Like, what a nightmare. What an abject disaster of a franchise. I can't believe they did this. I can't believe they did it. Just terrible mismanagement.
The problem with this team is that, we always talk about, in baseball, the thing is the Yankees are just waiting for Cashman and Boone to retire because they never fire their coaches. Steelers fans, if they want to go better, we're just waiting for Tomlin to leave, right? It's kind of the mindset where it's like, we're just going to have to deal with it until it's done and just be angry about it. The Cowboys are in a position where the best case scenario is they get a news report saying Jerry Jones has passed away because he's not going to let someone else take control. And it's very dark to say that. I don't like saying that because, I would never wish death upon anyone. But when you're when your franchise's best option in the front office room isn't, oh, we got to get this guy out of here. It's we need the owner to cease to exist for someone else to take control and put us in a different position. Because it's one thing if he said, you know what, like, I'm getting up there. I'm going to let someone else take over. He said himself in his documentary, he doesn't care. He likes to have this control over every aspect of his team. He likes the gamble of who knows, this may pay out. But you just gave, I know I said last week when we did our futures to you that it felt like the Cowboys were auditioning their team for a better coach next year to show like, this is what we got. If you want to come in and capitalize on it, now's the time. Well, now you're gonna have a brand new coach. You have the Ferrari next to the trap house, right? You have and Ferrari with an asterisk because we could argue Dak Prescott. We could argue this offensive line and this running back group, but you have Dak Prescott who's capable of throwing for 4K. You have CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens as your wide receiver 1 and 2. So you have a dynamic QB wide receiver trio. But how can you build around that? Because they're going to let every running back they see go after 2 years. Yeah, they're not good. They have to rebuild this entire defense, and now you got to convince free agents to like come into this defense that has nothing.
It's bad. It's really bad. Their defense is terrible. They might have the worst defense in the league. Their secondary is okay, I guess. So they one of the worst defenses in the league. Yeah, man. Like they are the bottom shelf Bengals. That's really what they are. Like if the offense can stay healthy, they can do things, but I don't know, man.
This is going to be you remember that Lions team from the first year when they kind of blew up where it was it's okay if you score because we're just going to score again.
Yeah, the one that
kind of mentality.
The one that ended Aaron Rodgers' Green Bay career.
Yeah. And yeah, that's the kind of team that this Cowboys team is going to have to play to be any. Obviously, I don't think they're going to be competitive, but that's the only way they're going to be able to win games is we're going to score, but can you match us? Not in a can you beat our defense, but can we score faster than you can score?
I cannot wait for the first. Man, it would sure next Thursday during the Eagles-Cowboys Thursday night opener. The first. Man, it would sure be nice if the Cowboys had a premier pass rusher tweet is going to hit like crack, bro.
Because one way to always look at teams is through how sportsbooks adjust, right?
Okay.
Can I offer you this fun little tidbit on that Thursday game to show you how badly Vegas thinks this defense is going to be?
Okay.
Yesterday morning, actually an hour before the trade, because I had checked it, Saquon Barkley's odds for longest rush of the game was 19.5, so 20-yard rush, right? It is 24.5 right now. It went up 5 points just because I don't think they think Micah was going to play to begin with, but just because of the fact that they now know Micah is no longer on the team, it went straight up.
That's crazy. That is wild. What a disaster for Dallas, man. Just, it's incredible that it ever got to that point, and now we're here. Does this make Green Bay a Super Bowl contender to you?
No. I think well, you shored up that issue. The other issue is Jordan Love in the playoffs.
I had a hot take brewing today when I was making dinner. Can I give it to you real quick?
Sure.
Some people are going to talk about, how good they are and has Jordan Love ever been better than Dak Prescott in his NFL career? Which that's not a hot take because he really hasn't been.
I'll say other than that one.
Other than when Green Bay beat them in the playoffs 2 years ago.
So I'll play devil's advocate. I'll take this side. Has Jordan Love had the talent of receivers that Dak Prescott has had?
No.
And let's argue the financial, willingness to spend money.
No, right? But Jordan Love's had one of the best offensive coaches in the league.
He is, but I think I wouldn't say he's better than Dak. I'm not gonna say he's worse than Dak. Jordan Love is like the one quarterback I never seem to have an opinion on because I like when I look at him, I can see good, I can see bad. I can't see anything that for me definitively says this guy is a bad quarterback, this guy is a good quarterback. And that may be me being a slightly more casual than, like you and the rest of the guys on GTS. But for me, like, I'll look at him one game and my head says, okay, this guy's not that good. And then the next game I'll look at him and say, hey, he threw for 350 and Romeo Dobbs was the only guy available. You know what I mean? Because like he had that 1 week where like Jaden Reed was wide receiver 1 and their wide receiver 7 was wide receiver 2, and he still threw for 350. So I think
I'm with you. He's really talented. It's just my thing with the Packers has turned into like the idea of the Packers is cool, but like other than just telling me about EPA and spreadsheets and analytics, what makes them good? You know what I mean? So that's where I
can I offer a slightly alter to your hot take?
Go for it.
Would we be, or more of a hypothetical, I would say, would we be having this conversation about Jordan Love if they did not have Josh Jacobs in the backfield still? Because I think if they had kept Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon and that was their running backs last year, I don't think we'd have this conversation. I think we would still have Jordan Love at the same level. We wouldn't be debating whether he is up or down or not. But I think having that running back that you have to be very careful can go off for 100 to 150 yards at any given point and doesn't get tired makes you – it's the same. You see these elite running backs make quarterbacks look good, right? Because you have to guard the run.
I don't disagree with you, but I thought Love was good as a rookie. Like what he did the second half of that year, I thought what he did as not a rookie, but his first year starting. I thought what he did in the playoff game was great. I have moments with Love where I really like him. I think
also it's the mindset of to throw a baseball reference out there. You see this a lot in baseball. When you're when you're the next up after a Hall of Famer or a team legend, there's you could if he wasn't following Aaron Rodgers, it would definitely be a different story. It's the same thing, Don might get mad at me for making this take, but it was the same thing with the Red Sox. After David Ortiz retired, no first baseman at DH is going to be as good. It's the Yankees with the shortstop. No one's going to be as good as Jeter for the next 10 years, and you have that to compare to. So, obviously 39-year-old Aaron Rodgers, I don't think would have done any better than what Jordan Love is doing. He probably wouldn't have. They probably would have missed the playoffs. But there's that comparison every single time now in their head, like, this is what we're used to from Favre to Rodgers, and now we're getting this instead. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. I thought Green Bay was going to miss the playoffs. After today, I really think that they could win the title. Which is crazy. One guy, but he kind of puts everything that they don't have into perspective. Now, it could still be the problem where it's just like he's the best guy and then like their other players regress maybe. I don't know. So we'll see. Man, Jerry let him off the hook, bro.
Oh, and in the next year or two, they're going to find a way to get a Green Bay Dallas game because, the historic teams. He's going to tear them to shreds.
Do they not play? I guess they probably don't play this year. Yeah, we play that. We play the NFC East, don't we?
I got to double check.
Or am I tripping?
It might be like we only played them once division this year.
No, we have to play the NFCs because we play Washington.
They play Cowboys week 4 primetime in Dallas.
I was gonna say because the Bears play Washington. There's no other way that would have matched up if they don't play unless they played the division.
Right before the bye too, so he's gonna give that his all. Just curious, because these lines are actually up in week 4. I want to see. Actually, didn't move as much as I thought it would.
Oh yeah, you got that. You got that good, and you can't tell me because of guess the lines.
Well, this is week 4. It's gonna move by the time y'all get to week 4.
I still I will
Okay, yeah.
accidentally remember
It moved
so
a
I'll feel like
point.
I'm cheating.
That's what I'll say. It moved a point. I thought
That's
it would have
fair.
moved a bit more, but it moved a point.
That's fair. All right. Let's move on. Talk about something that is a little bit less controversial. The NFL came out today with their new rivalries jerseys. And I got to admit, I am a nerd for alternate jerseys and cool jerseys. So I am very easy to please with this. And I don't know about you, Danny, but I thought the NFL nailed this.
Yeah, absolutely. Hang on, I'll redo my take. I'm gonna pull them up so I can showcase them on the thing.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Do you want to start over? Or you want me to just go from there and just say?
No, yeah, just start from there.
Yeah, I can just go from there. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, hang on. Let me give it like 5 seconds. Yeah. And go. Yeah, absolutely. I would say so you know me. I'm a nerd for aesthetics. In a game. I still hate that we stopped the color rush from like 5 years ago where every primetime was like an all white versus an all black kind of thing. 6 out of 8 of these I love. I'm on the fence on one, and there's one I absolutely hate.
Can I try to guess?
Yeah.
Do you hate one of the 3 black jerseys?
No.
Ooh, okay. I wasn't expecting that. You hate the Seahawks one then?
That is incorrect.
Oh, wow. Don't tell me you hate the Cardinals one.
I hate that Cardinals one.
Dude, that one's the best. That's literally the best one.
Why? Because it has dots?
It's so sick, bro.
No.
It's so
sick.
All
right. So let's go. I got them up here. We'll go through the jerseys.
I love the Arizona one, bro. I wish that their jersey scheme had more to do with the actual Arizona flag, but hey, the fact that it's got this little desert aesthetic, dog, I'm so in.
All right, so the first one we got here, Buffalo Bills, October 5th. Here, let me put us on the screen. Does that work better, or would you like? Yeah, no, that works better. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, 3. Okay, so the first one we got here, we have the Buffalo Bills in their October 5th game against the Patriots.
Those are tied for
cannot tell me that is especially I wish they played this in December. Could you imagine this on a nice icy 10-degree day in Buffalo? Could you imagine? I hope to God this is a primetime game. I'm double checking that because could you imagine this? Is it in Buffalo? It is in Buffalo. In Buffalo, 8 p.m. primetime game on Sunday with the lights shining on that like silver 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
No, I'm with you. That's the one I liked the most with the Cardinals one. The Bills one's sick.
All right, so the next one is the Jets or the Dolphins versus the Jets. I'm going to actually see if it'll let me pull up the image. Here we go. This is the image from their Twitter page. I think this is tough. I like this. This is like I would buy this. You know me. I like buying random jerseys.
For being a black jersey, just like a black jersey, this is really cool.
Black jerseys need to be perfect. That's the thing because you can't have it. It's hard. It's easy, but also hard to have an ugly black jersey. Like you got to have the right aesthetic with it. This is perfect.
The sleeves, the number font, or the font and the color, really good.
Yeah. The next one we have here is they did a group one for the Patriots when they played the Jets.
Those ones are really nice too.
These are tough. 7 out of 10 for me. These aren't my favorite because these look like jerseys they would wear any regular game. They just put a brighter white helmet on it. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, that's fair. I see.
You know what I mean? Like with the Dolphins and the Bills, when I could see that as like, 8 p.m. Sunday night game, we got the Chiefs. We're going to wear the white. We're going to white out Buffalo, right? Or Miami,
yeah, the Patriots.
The Miami, we got to win this game to make it to 9-8. We're going to black out Hard Rock. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This just looks like an alternate jersey they wore, but they just put a clean helmet with it.
The Patriots one, it's like we just took all of the color palette out on the television screen.
Yeah. Now
changing that y-axis.
This next one, the original photos I saw, it looked a lot darker. So I like this one. I wish it was closer to a black jersey instead of like a green black.
Yeah, that's the one that I'm like, on.
All right, so this is going to be on a primetime game, which is why I like it. Nighttime games in all black jerseys is like my favorite thing to see. Ever.
Okay.
I love it. The bright lights on a dark jersey, when like, especially with the Jets, because it's like because if they play bad, it's like going to a funeral. You know what I mean?
I think this is the worst of the 4 black jerseys, personally.
We can't really we can't have an unbiased opinion because they're called the Gotham jerseys.
That's a fair point.
So I can't say they're bad.
That's a good point. I got to change my opinion now.
Yeah.
It's legally binding or whatever.
All right, so the next one, yeah, we can't. We got to. All right, I want you to tell me why you like this.
The details, bro. The details.
What's the detail?
Sand. It's literally sand colored, bro.
It looks
They're
like
in the desert.
It looks like someone dropped a thing of water. They were like, "Oh fuck it, we'll just keep this design then."
No, they're so cold, bro. They're so cold. I love them.
Where are they wearing this? They're wearing this September 25th versus the Seahawks.
Yeah, that they are.
I hope that the Seahawks are wearing theirs against them.
Won't be able to tell who's who.
No, they're not. I wish they were, because that would be so fun, because we could see what a good jersey looks like against the bad jersey.
Hey, man, we all have opinions. We all have things we like and things we
also
dislike.
Fun fact, everyone in the NFC West is wearing these jerseys against the Seahawks this year.
Tough. Even the Seahawks.
Yeah.
It took
this top tier. They even put the they put a detailed page on how this is connected to how it's connected to the stadium.
Yeah, that's dirty. Like, because of the helmet being black, it like makes the blue and yellow pop more too because of how dark the black is. It's good.
Right.
I saw someone initially say how this was one of the worst ones. I was like, nah, you're crazy. You know what?
All I could think about was like, all it takes is like one hard hit, and like they'll pan over to someone, and that helmet's is going to be completely fucked up, like scratched.
Yeah, it will be.
All right, so I'm curious your thoughts on this one, because this one was one I said I'm on the fence on.
Bro, it's so dirty.
Okay, here's my thing.
I hate that the Niners have the best alternates in the league.
Okay, so here's my thing. When I see, like, I get it, it's their team color, right? But when I see like that kind of like usage of gold, my mind thinks championship, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, when the NBA was like, oh, the 2 championship teams, they're gonna have the gold collar on their jerseys. You know, like, if they had won the Super Bowl, I would be like, these are the toughest jerseys in the league. No,
that's fair. I see what you're saying. You know, like when the
MLB if they had won the NFC
World Series.
Yeah,
like
they get like the gold
Series,
patch.
They had the gold patch. They had the gold plated numbers. I get what you're saying.
Like,
that's fair.
If they had won the NFC, or even if they went like, you know, if they were like a top 2 team, if they were dominant last year, like they were 2-3 years ago, cool. Right. I would have had no problem with this, because it's setting yourself like it's championship or bust. Your goal right now is to get your team out of the hospital.
No shit.
What's their they had a detailed breakdown. I like the helmet.
Thing.
I will say this. I like the helmet. I think this is the filthiest helmet out of all.
I love details, and the font. The number font is so hot. It gets me going.
Because I haven't seen that color red on a helmet before. Like a dark bright red.
The number font and the helmet just takes the cake for me here.
All right, and then the last one here.
There should be.
This is number 8.
Okay, you're right.
Okay,
I initially thought this was mid until I realized the detail on the shoulders, and then I was like, all right, this is good.
You know what's funny? I don't like the details on the shoulder. Like I guess it's supposed to be like what? Like it's like clawed up by a hawk kind of thing.
Yeah, they're supposed to be different, you know? They're not supposed to be regular.
I wish they had some, because you remember how everyone wanted them to wear their throwback jerseys, the gray with the teal.
They're gonna wear them. I heard they're gonna wear the white ones this year.
I wish they had put some kind of like you know, like right here on the armband instead of the gray, like if they put the neon green or like the neon teal, right? I don't get me wrong, I like these. I think especially like the white with the, I don't even know what color blue you would call that, but like that the Seahawk blue, like in prime time in the lights, is gonna look great. But also now thinking about that, these are all Sunday night games. Are we going to talk about how the Seahawks have 3 Sunday night games this year?
These are all supposed to be Sunday night games?
I'm 90% sure 95% sure these are all Sunday night games.
That's crazy.
Let's see. Seahawks versus Cardinals is a Sunday night game for when the Cardinals are wearing theirs. Right? The Rams is a 4:00 game. And then all right, I don't like this now because the last week of the season, Niners versus Seahawks, and you're gonna have the Niners wear these jerseys on the last game of the season. No,
that's a bit interesting.
Like I get it, like, you know, rivalry, but you could have done week 3 against the Cardinals at home. You could have done week 9 against the Rams. Like doing it at home versus the Seahawks in week 18 when your season could potentially be over is just kind of like, that's a high hope your team's going to be competitive enough to keep that, to be fighting for the West at that point, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Joe,
when I see these
top 3.
When I see these new jerseys come out, man, I just wish the Bears would do a new.
I bet you they'll be next year's because they're going to.
I wish they did
a NFC.
I think next year is the NFC East and the AFC North.
AFC
or no,
South.
It might be the NFC.
No. Next year is the Bears. It's AFC South, NFC North. They're doing opposites.
Yeah.
So what AFC West, NFC East in 2027, 2028 is the North and the South.
Okay, good. I really want to see a jersey with the new bear logo on it and just see what it looks like.
Oh, we already know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be Caleb Williams holding his nails out like this on his jersey.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, when they to celebrate them winning the division. My top 3. In no order: Cardinals, Bills. Not the Patriots, not the Jets. Maybe the Rams. I think that one was really good. Rams or the Niners or the.
I'm gonna go Dolphins because I love like a black on like orange. I always love that. I wish Clemson did a blackout jersey. That would look clean. With an orange and purple on it. Yeah. Anyway, Dolphins, Bills, and then I'm gonna go Seahawks just to counteract your Rams. To keep the rivalry going.
Yeah. Love it. All right, moving right along.
Would you like to do a little across the pond talk?
Yeah,
I can tell you the drum. Okay, so, all right. I'm going to give it to like 25.
Carry a segment.
Okay, so before we get into college football, you know, we joked, last week ago on Take a Show that Joe is you were asking us questions of how like we all got into soccer, right? And like Premier League and stuff like that, right? So also I grew up on this, like to the point it was like my dad would always tell me, like, when you play a sport, you have to watch it so you know what you're doing. So my dad would wake me up at 8 a.m. on Saturdays and make me watch Premier League, even though he hated soccer. So I've grown up watching like Arsenal, like Premier League. And then as I got older, I started watching like French League, which is boring, German League, Spanish League, which is even more boring, Italian soccer, everything, right? Like I have AC Milan jerseys. I have a French team jersey. I have like hundreds of jerseys from, I go to a vintage store and get jerseys from teams I don't even remember playing. So my goal is I'm going to get you so invested in the drama that is European soccer that you're going to eventually pick a team, and you may not watch it because I know you're not getting up at 6 a.m. on a Saturday to watch it, but get invested enough that you could pick a team and we could follow it and see how you're doing. So I thought it would be cool. I'll give you some of the drama, but I thought it would be cool if you picked up if I gave you some Premier League team ideas that I thought you might like.
Okay.
And you kind of pick one and we could kind of follow them and go through the season kind of thing, right?
All right, I'm with it.
All right, so my favorite bit of drama, there's 2 bits of drama that I'll give you an NFL or an NBA comparison, right? So the first is Alexander Isak. So Isak is the best player in the Newcastle attacking portion of their team, right? He is insanely good. He's tactical. He's quick. Top 10 goal scorer every single season, right? So Isak said, he plays for Newcastle. He said, my time with Newcastle is up. I don't want to play here anymore. I don't remember if it was like the direction of the team or he just felt like, I've run my course here. I've played here my whole career. He said, I want to be transferred. And the team said, yeah, of course. Anything for you. You're the star player on our team. We want to make you happy in the end, right? And he said, I would like to be transferred to Liverpool. And they said, go fuck yourself. Like, we're not transferring you to our rival and the best team in the division. Now, and so the best equivalent I could give you is Micah. So this is the equivalent of, and he, obviously the player comparison is probably not there. Micah probably is a better NFL player than Isak is to Premier League, but this is the best comparison I could think of right now. So this would be if Micah said, Jerry, I'm done in Dallas. I don't want to be here anymore. I need you to trade me. I said, gotcha. I'll trade you. Where would you like to be traded? I'll even do that for you. And he said, Philly. That's the equivalent, right? And so Philly was like, we'll gladly take him. We don't need him, but we'll take him. And Jerry said, okay, give me 10 first-round picks. And Philly said, no, because we have so like Liverpool has the leverage on Newcastle, right? So they offered him a not a large amount, but a decent amount. I want to say it was like 20 million. I'm actually looking this up. So they said, no, we're not, right? And they kept going. And then, so they said, we're not giving him for that price, right? So they played their first game of the season. Isak says, I'm not playing because I'm not risking my value. I think they won. The second week, they had to play Liverpool in Liverpool. Isak says, I'm definitely not playing this week. So they get their ass kicked. I believe it was 4-3 because they made a huge comeback. They offered $110 million for this player. Straight up. Now, this isn't like NBA where it's like, we're going to pay you 10 million. This was $110 million in cash right now for him. And he hasn't even agreed to a coat in soccer. You offer money to a team before you can talk to the player. You're offering them the money in case they sign with you. So they offered $110 million just to talk to this guy. And they said, we're not even going to take that. So it got up to 130. So they've been going back and forth. Today was the transfer deadline. Now in soccer, the transfer deadline for international European soccer is in windows. So imagine the trade deadline in the NFL is from training camp or the end of the last season to week 2.
Okay.
And then there's not another one until week 16. Okay. So they didn't make a deal in time. So he can't go to Liverpool. He can't play for Liverpool. But between now and the December transfer market opening up, they can agree to a deal, but he can't play for them.
Okay.
So they could agree to a deal, but then Isak has to sit and not play for 3 months.
Okay.
Like you can't join your team if you can't even go on the team facilities until. So basically, they could agree to a deal now, and then he's stuck playing at Newcastle for 4 months, not doing anything.
Oh, is he? But does he have to play for the other team still? Technically,
He technically can say no because most of them tend to do. It depends. Like if it's like that messy of a breakup, they'll just be like, "All right, cool. I'm just not going to be near the facility," and they'll fine him like $100 a day kind of thing.
wow.
But yeah, so they're still working on a deal. But now, if they get a deal done, he can't play for them until December. Right.
That's yeah.
So the other one it's a little bit shorter. It's Kobe Mainoo. Plays for Man United. Hasn't been playing a lot. Young guy. It's the young guy that everyone says has a lot of talent. Think Cam Whitmore or Cam Reddish. Got a lot of talent, but no one's playing him, right?
Okay.
So he
like
wants
this.
he wants to be transferred. He wants to go to a different team. He said, I don't care where it is. I just want to go play. You could send me to the worst team in the worst leagues. I just want to play. They're not sending him anywhere. So teams are offering like millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, right? They just keep rejecting it because they're like, we don't want him to leave, but they don't want to play him. So the transfer deadline comes and they said, we're not going to send you anywhere on a loan. We're not going to sell you anywhere. You're just going to sit in our bench. So that's what's going on with Man United right now. They have this guy who some people say is great, some people say is bad. That's just sitting there. Right?
Okay.
All right. So now, our first look, I'm gonna go over like 2 or 3 teams that I think you would be a fan of.
Okay.
So there's the big 3. There's Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal. That's me, Kev, Don, and Steve's teams. Liverpool just won the league. They're dominant. They're the best team in the Premier League right now. They score a lot. Their defense is a little weak right now. Don's gonna kill me for saying that, but it's true. And they score a shit ton, right? They have
they all sing a song after their games.
Mm-hmm. Well, everyone does. Everyone has a team song.
That's fair.
Arsenal is my team. They always finish in second place. They're always good. Even when they're hurt, they're good, but they never win. Think the 49ers. Someone's always hurt, but they somehow pull out like an 8 or 9 win season. But in this case, they still finish top 3 every year.
And who are the best players on some of these teams?
So on Liverpool, you got Mo Salah.
I say Mo Salah's on Liverpool.
Mo Salah is one of the greatest goal scorers in Premier League.
I'll know the players. I'll know who the players are.
You got Virgil van Dijk.
Yep, Netherlands defenseman.
Mm-hmm. Arsenal, you have Bukayo Saka. You have
isn't he one of the African players?
A lot of these guys are African.
Is he from isn't he from Cameroon?
I think so, yeah. And then you have their newest guy is Eze. He just left Crystal Palace and signed with Arsenal. It's his boyhood club. So he worked his way through Crystal Palace's academy and everything, got to and then signed with Arsenal, right? So his first game with Arsenal will be this weekend. Then you have Chelsea. Chelsea signs everyone. They look like that team that's just we're going to sign 30 players and then we're going to figure out which 10 work kind of thing.
Chelsea, I know, just lost. They lost to PSG in the Champions League.
Mm-hmm, yep, and they won the Club World Cup. Yep.
But then they smacked them in the Club World Cup, right?
Yeah. So Cole Palmer's one of their best scorers. They just brought in a couple other guys that are really good offensively. There were talks about them getting the goalie from PSG, but I don't think that's going through.
And Pulisic doesn't play for them anymore?
No, he plays in Italy now.
So I thought that's what I thought.
Yeah, he was the American guy that made everyone start watching over there, but over the last couple of years. But he's in Italy playing for Milan now. And then you have Man City. That's Erling Haaland. That's Pep Guardiola. That's Steve's team. They're dominant. They're cocky. They just lost their longest tenured player, De Bruyne. He went to Italy as well.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm, yeah. He was actually the only player on that team that played on the team before Pep took over. So he's the last piece before it's officially Pep's philosophy kind of thing. Then you have like the teams that are competing for Europe to try to get European place. So that's like Nottingham Forest. You could argue Bournemouth. You got like Newcastle, Aston Villa, and Tottenham, right? Those are teams that they're like, so in soccer, the top 4 go to play Champions League. And then number 5 goes to Europa. Like they have like different international leagues to play in, depending on where you finish. And each league gets different amounts depending on how good the league is. But those are teams like Tottenham. The joke was they had like one of the best English players on the team, and they never won anything. Like he would never win a title. And the joke was he went to like the best team in Germany, and they lost the title for the first time in 15 years. The first year he got there, right? And they just lost their like top Asian player. He's in LA now. You got the teams I like. I like Brighton because they have fun jerseys. You have Man United. They suck, and they keep buying players. They're the Dallas Cowboys. No,
so when I was in high school, Man United was awesome and Man City was bad.
Right, it's switched now. So Man United is the New York Yankees. They have all this money to buy players, but they never play good. Right? That's a good way of putting them, to be honest. If you're looking for some underdogs, there's Burnley. They're probably going to get relegated. That's the team JJ Watt is an owner of.
Okay. Whatever happened to Leicester after they won the Premier League back in what year?
So Leicester, I don't even remember. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. So Leicester got promoted last year. They struggled. They went down to the Champions League because the bottom 3 get relegated every year.
Right, I knew that. Yeah. I knew about that.
So they made it up, and they were not. So most of the teams that go up tend to go down the next year. But think of it like a 1-year promotion to make extra money and then get sent to where you're supposed to be. Mm-hmm. They did not play well. Like they were horrendous. The 3 teams that made it up were all officially relegated with like 10 games to play. Like that's how bad they were. They just lost their best player. They're down in the Champions League, but they're probably going to come back up.
So that's below the Premier League, right?
Yeah. So it's Premier, Champion, League 1, League 2, and then non-league play. So if you get bad enough for non-league play, like these guys are working part-time jobs.
Yeah. It's crazy that they literally that is like legitimately one of the most crazy sports things ever, right?
That's how Wrexham is. That's how Wrexham was a non-league team, and they are all the way in championship now.
Mm-hmm. But like
it's money.
But they didn't win. They weren't competing to win the Premier League. Leicester won it.
Mm-hmm. And about 3 years later, they got relegated.
Which them winning it wasn't them winning it.
It's all about money, man. It's dependent on how much the owners want to spend. If the owners say like, "Hey, I don't feel like I'm making a profit," teams go down. If Sunderland is a great example of that. Sunderland made it up for the first time in like 7 years, right? Mm-hmm. They had an owner when they got sent down to League 1, and their owner, the team was, and the managers and the operations guys were like, "Hey, we just need to spend money and we'll be right back where we're at." And the manager said, the owner said, "I'm not sending you guys any more money until you can actually put a winning team together." And then it's we can't put a winning team together with no money, but we can't spend money until we put a winning. So they kind of did that. So they got a new owner. It's a hometown kid who he grew up there, became a millionaire, bought the team. And he said, "I will do whatever we can to get this team to the Premier League." So they, after 6-7 years, they finally made it back up. Their first game, they did a huge documentary on it. It was really great. Like they showed like fans who've been loyal to the team since the 40s that like passed away before they could see this. Mm-hmm. Smoked a team 3-0 in their first game. Crowds going crazy. People are crying. The players are like acting like they won the World Cup. Like that's how much it means to them.
What team do you think? I don't even know. I can't even think of a team that I should. I used to kind of like. I liked Man City in high school, but I didn't really pay that much attention.
So I would say this. I would say, all right. So I'll give you a top dog, a middle team, and like an underdog.
Okay.
So a top dog, I would think you would like. Given how much you like Ben Johnson of the Bears, I would say Man City because Pep is very tactical. He's very smart. I could go to hours into how he learned what he did as a manager because it's honestly. Have you seen Ted Lasso?
Mm-hmm.
When they talked about total football and everything,
right?
He learned it from the guy that created it, and he brought it to like the best teams in Europe. So like he's a tactical genius. And they had one of the greatest goal scoring machines ever. It's just the problem is they're a bunch of pricks. Is the polite way to put it. A middle team. I'll say like middle to bottom. I would say. I think you might like Villa, Aston Villa. I think you might like Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest 2 years ago missed out on being relegated by 1 point. The next year they were number 5 in the world in the league. So and they're kind of now up there as that like number 5, number 6.
Jobber to the stars, kind of sort of.
Yeah, like the Lions' first year of Dan Campbell to second year. But not as exciting because they're very slow pace. The underdog. This is the underdog I'm rooting for this year is Sunderland because there's a whole documentary on it. It means like they were one of the first teams in Premier League. It means more to them, right? Other than that, I would say. That's the thing. Most of these teams they're losing all their players. They're about to rebuild. I would say Man City would probably be your team. Would be a good team for you. And I hate saying
time is a flat circle.
Man City. Yeah,
time is a flat circle. All right, let's rip. Me and Steve always find a way to end up on the same side.
I'll tell him that. Or you can put in the group chat you're officially a Man City fan this year.
No.
I think that would be fun. I think each year, like that we do this, the Premier League, like just take like a little, like a quick peek at like what each team's like preview is gonna be, and just kind of pick a team, and be like, you know what, I'm rocking with this team this year.
Let's rip, bro. Yeah,
I think that'd be fun, like especially with like, you know, you're not as like following as us, so you don't have like a cult following like us. Like just pick a team to root for, kind of thing.
I love it. All right, do you want to get in $100 picks, or do we want to talk? Do we want to do a snippet on the college games first?
I think
the big ones.
Let's do like the big 3 or 4.
Okay.
Like let's do the big 3 in like one game that's not one of those that we think might be like worth watching. I definitely went like more than like 15 minutes on that, but like I can also cut that out and that could just be like our thing.
No, you're good. I'm cool with keeping the whole thing as a long one. All right, Texas and Ohio State.
Yeah, give it like 5 seconds and we'll start. Because that way I can cut that snippet out.
Yeah.
Okay.
2, 1. All right, moving on. College football. Texas, Ohio State's the biggest game of the day, Saturday, biggest game of the year, maybe. I mean, it's crazy how often you get 2 of the top teams in the country to play in week 1. Literally, like game 1 of the Saturday. There's so many different angles in this game, Danny. There's a billion ways that you could tell me this game would go, and I would probably believe you. What's the biggest angle that you're looking at that you're trying to kind of figure out? And like, if you're watching this game, that will tell you, okay, this is where this game is leading.
You know what it would honestly for me, it's gonna be the second drive of Ohio State's defense.
Okay.
Because so in my head, you know, obviously the big one that everyone talked about last year was Ohio State, Penn State, right? That was when everyone's like, oh, this is gonna be the game of the year type thing, right? And then like after the third drive, Ohio State just ran away with it. I think that's the thing is like, obviously, I think, you know, Sarkisian's not going to have Drew Aller pretend to run or have Arch pretend to run the ball and then throw it 2 yards like they did with Drew Aller the entire game. But I guess it's more the adapting after, okay, they stopped us this drive. Okay, they stopped us this drive. Where do we go? Type of thing. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, yeah, Arch is Arch. Everyone knows what he's about, how he's going to be. But in reality, your first game as the official full-time starter and the guy leading the team for the next potential 2 years is Ohio State at the shoe is a lot, especially week 1 when fans have been waiting for this since January.
Yeah, it's tough.
Ring ceremony, all that.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm with you. It's not the easiest place in the world to be. I'm I see what you're saying there. I'm going to be intrigued at how the line of scrimmages are playing. I think the scheme is going to be very low scoring. Which quarterback is more comfortable, and that has to go with the line of scrimmage. Which coaching staff, which offense is able to kind of be in more of a flow, in more of a rhythm. I think this game could be nip and tuck. It should be fun though.
So I have a question for you in this game.
Yeah.
So obviously, when we see like top 5 teams play each other and someone loses, someone always drops, right? Even if it's like they win on a walk-off field goal, someone always drops. How far do you if this game goes, how everyone's projecting, where it's like, 24-27, a walk-off field goal or a Hail Mary at the end of the game after someone has a game-winning drive, how far do you expect either of these teams to drop if this game's not a blowout? Like, do you think both teams stay top 5 after week 1?
Yeah, they will.
Or is there a possibility we could see? I mean, obviously these two teams have a lot of, media bias towards them, but like, is there any scenario where these teams could drop, where one of these teams could drop to like an 8, 9, or 10?
Texas blasting Ohio State. That'd be the only one.
Yeah.
Because Texas isn't going to go from number 1 to like number 9. But Ohio State could go from like number 3 to number 7 or 8.
Right, yeah.
If they lost like 35 to 17.
I think that's going to be the conversation everyone's going to have all week is like, Texas loses and then they're still top 5. It's how could you lost on the road as a number 1 team, and then they'll get a top 5 spot in the playoffs because they'll play good the rest of the season. Everyone will be like, well, you lost to Ohio State week 1. You shouldn't have a top 5 spot.
Exactly. All right, moving on to I'm trying to think. LSU Clemson. That's what I was thinking of. We said this on the Golden Ticket Show. This is the game where I really think, we're going to learn early. This is an amazing live betting opportunity. I think if LSU can block Clemson, because, the big story, they've got 4 new offensive linemen. Clemson's defense is loaded. They have NFL guys everywhere. If Clemson can block, if LSU can block Clemson, the skill players for LSU, I think, are a major advantage. But if they're not able to protect up front, Peter Woods, the big defensive lineman from Clemson, he's one of their best players, one of the best players in the country. If Clemson is able to wreak havoc, it could be a long day for the LSU offense. But if not, this game gets very interesting. Clemson also has struggled when they have had to step up and play top-tier competition, or at least top-tier athletes on the other side of the ball for the last couple of years. They have not boded well. So I'm very intrigued to see how they look athletically. Because when they had to go up against Georgia a couple times, or last year when they had to play South Carolina or Texas, they just didn't have the quality of guy, player for player, to match up. So will that be an issue against LSU? I'm not sure. We'll see. Fascinating game, though. With it being on campus, I love that. Very fascinating opportunity. And a huge moment, honestly, for both of these programs. Clemson wins this game, it's an opportunity for them to say, hey, we're back. If LSU wins this game, it shut a lot of people up because a lot of people are doubting them. There's a certain amount of people that are very high on LSU this year, and there's a lot of people that are saying that they're overrated and that they're not as good as people think they are. So both teams with something to prove. Should be fun.
Yeah. I think as an LSU fan, it worries me. I've not liked Kelly in the entirety he's been there. I've never been a fan of his, even when Jaden Daniels was there, and we looked like an amazing team. Every game gave me the anxiety of, if Jaden Daniels doesn't put up 50 points, we're losing by 30. Because you remember that Missouri, and it was like 66 to 57.
There were some pretty weird ones.
Like I think he benefited a lot at Notre Dame from having that independent schedule that he could make any schedule he wanted.
They played some tough games. I don't know.
I'm not saying they didn't. I'm saying
Kelly than most people. I guess I don't know.
Maybe it's me being a Coach O fan also, because I didn't want him to leave, but I get why, they had to move on.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. I think this season, if Brian Kelly does not lead this team to a college football playoff semifinal, I think they need to move on. Because I think then for the next 3 or 4 years or however long he's going to be there, we're just going to hear, can he get them that slight edge over the hump? You know what I mean? Where it's, you might get a new coach, rebuild 1 to 2 years, but you're still LSU. Every 5-star in the state of Louisiana, as soon as you give them that offer, is going to want to go there.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, I think this game ends on a field goal. I don't know who makes it, but I think this game has 2 directions. It either ends on a field goal or Clemson puts up 40 on us and we look like a fraud.
I can't wait. It's going to answer a lot of questions, that's for sure. And I'm all for that. I'm all for questions being answered. Moving to Sunday, maybe the most polarizing game of the weekend. Notre Dame versus Miami. We run back Catholics versus convicts. Carson Beck, he is not here to cheat on your girlfriend or to holler at Instagram models. He's here to hopefully play quarterback if you're a Miami Hurricanes fan. And CJ Carr is the new quarterback from Notre Dame. Notre Dame has very good players in positions people don't want to talk about. They have they are deep up front on the offensive line. They have good defensive linemen. Their DBs are really nice. They have the best, I think. I know. They have the best running back in college football in Jeremiah Love. Question mark at quarterback. Their wide receivers were young last year. They got some guys now. Miami's defense last year sucked, so people are thinking it can only get better from here. But they lose a lot of firepower on offense. But Carson Beck, who was ostracized out of Georgia. Georgia did not want to bring him back. They said, you can leave. What an interesting game. Like I said, I love when games happen where questions will be answered. And Sunday, that's another one of them, man, where we're going to learn so much about both of these teams. And I'm excited.
Can we talk about how Carson Beck probably ruined his draft stock by unregistering for the draft this year? Because let's be real, outside of Shador and Cam, this was a very weak draft class.
Yeah,
and
but
now
he
you're
probably
going to
would have been in the fifth or sixth round.
Now you're going to but now you're going to be in a draft class. It's going to have Arch. It's going to have Klubnik.
He's making more in NIL than he would have in the draft.
Right, but I'm saying if he wants to play in the pros like he clearly wants to, what looks better on your pedigree? I just came from Georgia, or I'm replacing Cam Ward, and now you have that on your. For me, it's you have that on your shoulders of now you're replacing the number 1 pick.
Well, if he balls though, he'll be a first round.
But I don't think he does. That's why.
We'll see. I don't know.
I think there is a very real opportunity Notre Dame wins this by 10.
You will see here soon that there's a side I like, and it is not the home team. Don't love it, but I like it.
I think I didn't bet on it because I tried to stay as little as possible because I don't follow the transfers and all the the scouting reports on college like you guys do because I'm too focused on baseball nerd stats. Tell me what Carson Beck's B WAR is, and then we'll talk. I'm kidding. But
that's his OPS plus, bro.
Yeah, it's not a 185. I don't want it. Don's gonna watch this and yell at me. I think there is a very real opportunity, or a very real possibility that line's 2.5. 90% of the money is on Notre Dame to cover the spread. I think there is a very, very real possibility that we're going to see Notre Dame curb stomp the shit out of them, i.e. Georgia versus Clemson last year. Because there's always one game, right, where it's like the 2 heavyweights hit and one gets absolutely tore up, right? What was that Georgia game like 3 years ago, week 1, where they gave up a field goal in the opening drive, and then they scored like 58 straight? Or was that Clemson?
I don't remember.
One of their neutral game sites, but it was in Atlanta.
Is it against Oregon?
Yeah, that's what it was. And everyone thought it was like it was what Bo Nix's first game at Oregon, and everyone's like, "Oh, Bo Nix has got their number," and then they won like 58-3.
Yeah, it was bad.
I think it's a very real possibility we're going to get this. We're going to get Carson Beck. You know, he's going against Notre Dame. He played in the SEC for 3 years. He's fine. And then Marcus Freeman just drops a duty on their chest.
Mack truck.
Like I legitimately think there's a possibility like we could see like ESPN posting a Notre Dame's up 21-0 in the second quarter like type graphic.
It could be. All right. You ready to make some picks?
Is there not any other games you wanna bring up the possibilities of? Or you want to we can wait till next week for that because we might have more content for next week on that.
Yeah, and I'm also trying to not fall asleep during this. I'm dying.
We tried to stay an hour. We definitely went over an hour.
Yeah, it's not just that. It's just we're at the point where I'm.
No, I get you. I have to edit all this, and it's I'm not going to go to bed till like 3. So, which is good because I'm going to wake up and then 2K is going to be available because they do universal drops now instead of at midnight, or I would not be here right now.
Exactly. See, we're just we have officially reached our. We're hour 17 and a half.
Camera, our off camera question: how long in the season before we see Bill Belichick's play call sheet have like little flowers drawn on it saying plays with a heart? Like,
be great today, baby. I don't know. That's a good question. All right, we'll go in 5.
Right, so, yeah.
Oh, go ahead. You good?
Yeah.
All right. 5, 4, 3. All right. We are ready. It is the $100 picks here for week 1 of college football. We made NFL future picks last week. This is the week for me that I struggle with the most to try to figure because college spreads you can't tease, you can't do exotics. NFL, it's just easier for me to kind of get a little creative. College, it's a bit tougher, but I think I did okay. I think we both are coming to the table with 8 picks once again. How do you want to do this? Do you want to give 2 each? Do you want to give one guy gives 1, then one guy gives the other? This is going to be much faster.
We can do 2 each because I have 2 soccer plays, so that would work better because then I could do those 2 and then we go right into.
All right, we'll do the soccer.
So the first one I have is Bayern Leverkusen money line at -105. I'm putting $15 on it. The main reason on this play is if there is any team in non-English European soccer that needs a win this week, it is Leverkusen. 2 years ago, out of nowhere, they shocked everyone. They won the German Cup, right? Last year, they stayed a top 4 team, but they did not play well. They started the season against Bayern Munich, the top team. Everyone thought this is going to be a slugfest. These are the 2 previous champions. Bayern was up 5-0 at the end of the first half. It wasn't even close, and it was ugly. And then they struggled in their in-country, in-season tournament. Right? They won the game, but they struggled. They're playing a very weak team this week. Hang on, I'm going to do this again because I can't remember who they play. Yeah, there we go. That's what I thought. They play a weaker team in Werder Bremen, who did not look good last week. They fell apart as soon as they gave up a goal. They were up 1-0. They lost 4-1. So I think this is a must win. This is the must win spot here. You just got beat. You've gotten beat both your games so far. You drew with a team you should have easily beat, and then you lost your last game. This is the must win spot. I probably got my teams mixed up, but this is a must win spot for Leverkusen. I'm gonna trust they're gonna come out of this with at least 3 points. So I'm gonna put $15 on their money line at -105. Next one I have, I took a little inspiration from you, and I did do a parlay this week.
Hey,
we have Chelsea's team total over 1.5, PSG's team total over 1.5. Now, the main reason for this, Chelsea as the early game. Early games are weird, but this game they need to score. They've had some struggle scoring. Cole Palmer may be out. I think they said he will. He's not going to be playing this week. I wanted to take them to win, but I just don't trust that. I'm not going to take a minus 176. They, after drawing with Crystal Palace in a game they should have won, they put up 5 against West Ham. Now they have Fulham. Fulham has drawn back-to-back games and have gotten incredibly lucky in their draws. This is one of those luck rating expected goal spots. This is a spot where Chelsea's going to at least score 2. So I'll take their 2 there. And then the other side of this is PSG. Now, PSG typically scores a lot of goals, right? So they've only scored 2 goals so far this season. Their expected goal total is 7.5 already for the last 2 games. So they've controlled over 80% of possession in both their games, and they've had over 35 shots on goal in the last 2 games, and they've only scored 2 goals. They're definitely due for a game where they score multiple goals. This is it today. Chelsea over 1.5 team total, PSG over 1.5 team total, plus 131. I'm putting $10 on it.
I like it. All right. I'll do my first 4 here. I got 2 $20 picks, so 2 again this week. Not as much on the top ones here. And again, these are going to be a little bit more. These are all like in the minus 110 range. When we get into the NFL here, we're going to have some stuff. I'll have some stuff that'll be parlayed together a little bit where we get some plus odds and whatnot. But these are all just kind of basic ATS number picks. So a little more generic. But so these are all pretty much 110, 108, 114 type stuff. Regardless, though, so we're still here to win, to do some winning. First 2, $20 on each, so 2 units on each of these. Marshall versus Georgia under 53.5, and Nevada versus Penn State under 55.5. These are 2 primitive team who has nothing to gain by running the score up, gets up early and puts it in neutral and parks the bus for a half, and the other team does not score, and we coast to an under. So that's where I'm at with those. So those are my 2 favorite plays of the weekend. Georgia, Marshall, under 53.5. Penn State, Nevada, under 55.5. $20 on both of those. Next up, we talked about that big game on Saturday, Texas and Ohio State. I said that I think scoring is going to be at a premium. We're going to take the first half under 23.5. First half under 23.5. This will be a slow start. Both teams to score low early in the game. Love this play here. Minus 114. $15 on this one for the Texas Ohio State under 23.5 first half. And then Friday night, we head out west to Boulder, Colorado. Hold on to your butts. We're going to run the dang ball for Brent Key and Haynes King and the Ramblin' Wreck from Georgia Tech, and we hope that we can be an engineer. Georgia Tech, lay 'em 4.5 against Colorado, $10 on that. So our first 4 picks there: Marshall, Georgia under, Nevada, Penn State under, Texas, Ohio State first half under, and Georgia Tech laying the points against Colorado. Danny, what do you got?
So I'll do my next 4. So the first one I'm going to go with is an obligatory golden ticket show must bet if you followed us enough. We joked that we weren't going to actually get this until we saw the schedule and saw that we could. LIU Brooklyn, the Long Island University Brooklyn Sharks, plus 45.5 against Florida.
Principles, baby.
Now, am I going to die on this one when they lose 70-0? Absolutely. I will live and see it. When they score 1 touchdown and it's the Chris Paul cuts the lead to 51 moment, I will be the one fan cheering. But as our good friend, Mr. Steve Fast Breaks has said on his College Juice podcast, shout out the College Juice podcast. Steve, there, you got it. The DJ Lagway, he was a little banged up. There's no need to stress him in this game. They're going to treat it like a preseason game. He's going to play the first half. They're going to probably be up like 21, 28, nothing. And then they're going to put the second unit in. There's no need to risk these guys in a week 1 bio win game. So I'm going to put $10 on LIU plus 45.5. Chomp, chomp, baby. The next one I got is on that Georgia game you have, but I'm going to take Georgia at minus 37.5 at minus 128. I put $25 on this.
Spray it.
Now,
I put
$25 on this one. So the reason I'm taking this one is solely the fact that Marshall has 60 transfer players this year. They fired their coach and the entire team left.
The entire team went to Southern Miss with him.
So now
the entire Southern Miss is literally Marshall.
With a new quarterback, I know there's going to be stops and concerns, but if we've learned anything from Georgia over the last 4 years, is they will start a season trying to beat the absolute piss out of you. They don't care if it's Oregon, Oklahoma, Clemson, Alabama. They don't care if it's the school for the blind and deaf. They want to beat you by 100 so they look like they're back. Whether they are or not, they want to look like they're back. You know, we talked about how Kirby Smart isn't the best when the spreads are over 30. I don't think that matters this year because I genuinely think this Marshall team isn't going to win more than 4 games because it's going to take them a long time to get this adjusted because these guys are from all over the place. It's a new coach, new system versus Kirby Smart and the Ramblin' Dogs. Or was it the Ramblin' Red Machine? Give me the 37.5, $25 on it. I'll look forward to my given how Wisconsin played today, I will look forward to my 37-0 loss tomorrow or Saturday. The next one I got is Old Dominion, Indiana, over 52.5, $15 on that at minus 110. I talked about this a bit on the Golden Ticket Show. Regardless of what anyone thinks, I like this play. Signetti has shown one thing in non-con games, and that is we're going to put our foot on the gas and we're going to beat the piss out of you.
Hey, smoke them through the filter, bro. They play a full 60.
They had games with 77-0 in conference games, mind you, where you tend to show the respect of like we're going to put our bench in when we're up 40. They kept everyone in.
At Indiana, you sign up for a full 60 minutes.
Exactly. So I think this goes over. I think Old Dominion scores at least 10, but given there's a reason they put this week of a schedule to start the year. Right? You come off a great season. Like how often do you see teams, they come off a great season, they get a week non-con, and they destroy these teams so they look 5 times better than they are. Right? I'm not saying they're going to be bad, but I think this is a spot where you're going to go in and put a statement that this wasn't a flash in the pan. We're going to go and we're going to beat you by 60. And we're going to make Kyle Schwarber happy. My next one is hold your nose. Go ahead and hold it. Purdue minus 17.5. Talked about this one also.
Buckle up, baby.
I understand this looks ugly. Ball State's already one of the worst teams. Purdue is the worst team in the Big Ten, and they're going to need some kind of wins to prove they're better than 1-11. I think it's got to come week 1. I think they blow out Ball State and give them the slightest bit of hope that they're back. I think this is a 20-point game. Truly. I tried finding a reason to hate this one. I couldn't. I got it at minus 105, $10 on it.
The Ryan Walters led Purdue Boilermakers, I would not have laid 17.5 against the JFL team. The Barry Odom led Boilermakers, I'm listening. All right, I'll roll through my final 4. A, there ain't no D in UNLV, baby. We're gonna hope that UNLV Sam Houston State over 61.
Not with that attitude, there's not.
Principal play until proven otherwise. Even after only 1 week.
If you let Idaho State do that to you, then
exactly.
Yeah, I think there's some questions that need to be answered.
Exactly. And Sam Houston State got lit up by Western Kentucky. This game could reach mega neutron levels. $10 on that one. Next up, Friday night, Auburn Baylor. This is I don't know if this is my fading America pick, technically, but a lot of people are on Auburn. Pundits are, at least. I'm on Baylor plus 2.5, $10. I'm feeling it. Let's go. Sawyer Robinson. Baylor at home in Waco getting it done. Last $10 play, Notre Dame. I said I have something here. Notre Dame minus 2.5. They just got better players, man, and I think that they're going to be able to ride the game script. It could get rocky early, but I think eventually they're going to wear Miami down. Jeremiah Love's going to have a big day. The defense will make some stops, and I think Notre Dame's going to win. We're going to lay the 2.5, $10 on them against Miami in Hard Rock Stadium. And lastly, hey, prepare with me. Hey, hands in the vehicle. Buckle up your seatbelts. Toledo plus 10.5 in Kentucky. $5. We're letting it fly. Sometimes you just have to feel a moment. I don't need them to win. I just need them to lose by less than 11 points. They're starting the game with a 10.5 to nothing lead. What could go wrong? Everything can go wrong.
So
that's my picks.
My final two. I'm going to take the Bama FSU under 50.5. Main thing is obviously primetime week ones tend to have unders. Mm-hmm. You have Bama with a new quarterback and a better defense.
Mm-hmm. Florida State with a new everything.
And as much as the problem is everyone, is saying, this new offensive coordinator, his plan works great for mobile quarterbacks. Well, the problem is there's not much you could do when the mobile quarterback doesn't know how to throw while being a mobile quarterback.
They're going to run. It's going to be a lot.
It's going to be an RPO.
It's going to
be an RPO or a read option offense. Side note: can we just imagine how everyone last year was like Tommy Castellanos is the next great thing, and now like everyone's just like, maybe he should learn how to be a quarterback.
It's because of what happened.
Yeah, no,
it's because how he left Boston College.
So I'm taking the under. To quote Colin Wilson on Action Network, the only way this goes over is if Bama puts up 40. I think we could agree with that.
Possibly,
I think this is a very much like a 28-14 situation here. And then the next one here. So I do like your Toledo play. But I'm just going to ask you next time to put some hair on your chest. Toledo money line plus 300.
Oh, let's go.
$5 on that. $10 on the Bama FSU. That completes my $100 picks.
All right. I'm here. Recap. Marshall, Georgia, under for me. Nevada, Penn State, under. Texas, Ohio State, first half, under. Georgia Tech, laying the points. Sam Houston, UNLV, over. Baylor, plus 2.5 at home against Auburn. Notre Dame, laying it at Miami. And Toledo, plus the points at Kentucky. For you, rapid fire. Go through.
So we got Chelsea over 1.5 team total. PSG over 1.5 team total, plus 131. Bayern Leverkusen money line minus 105. LIU Brooklyn plus 45.5 against Florida. Georgia minus 37.5 against Marshall. Old Dominion Indiana over 52.5. Purdue minus 17.5. Bama FSU under 50.5. And Toledo money line plus 300.
And that is the $100 picks.
I don't have the bankroll to do $1 million, so let's wait on that one.
I know. 5. And that is the $100 picks for college football week 1. Keep the edit with you laughing; it'll be funny. People wonder where I came from. $100 picks week 1 for college football. A little more basic for college football only, but hey, next week when I've got like the Giants and the frickin' Jags and an underdog parlay, and we're cooking it to get some plus action, we'll be sweating. We'll be rubbing mayonnaise on our nose. It'll be fun. We did well. You did great. I'm tired. Weekend warm up, official episode 1. Hopefully, I didn't screw this up and we can actually post this. If not, well, third time's the charm next week. Regardless, Daniel, I dropped something. Daniel, I think that means we need to leave because I dropped my slinky. Are you good? We are good. I am Joe the Showwinkle for my partner, Danny Hancock, a.k.a. Gotham Gambling. This has been the Weekend Warm-Up. Everyone enjoy. Have a great weekend. We will see you guys next time. Until then, we are out, y'all. Peace.